The NBA is starting to notice that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP this season, as it's not just his teammates saying he's the most valuable player. You also have guys like Draymond Green saying it now, like, hey, look at what this guy is doing. Watch the games, watch the tapes. This man's putting up MVP level numbers. This is a top 10 season by a guard all time. I might go as far to say a top 5 season by a guard in NBA history. He's averaging 32 points a game, 6'6", plethora of steals out there. One of the best two-way players in the league. Only two-way player probably better than him would be Jalen Williams, because he's just a better defender. That's it. Shai is having such an impressive season so far, but yet the common media, I say the common media, you have guys like Stephen A. Smith going out there saying he's the MVP, Brian Windhorst, those guys are saying, yeah, Shai's the MVP. But a bunch of other voters, all right, social media, they don't believe he's the MVP. They're saying he has all this top-tier talent around him, saying, oh, take away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and this team's still making the playoffs. They might still make the playoffs. You could say the same thing, though, for a team like the Nuggets, all right? The Nuggets are actually doing better when Jokic is off the court, all right? Offensively, they might not be better, but they're still doing better because their defense is so much better when Jokic isn't playing. He's that bad of a defender. You have to play both sides of the ball in the NBA. You can't just be a stellar offensive player and then a horrible defensive player and then win MVP. You have to be great on both ends, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a top 5 offensive player and a top 5 defensive player in the NBA, and that is why he should win MVP. And guys like Draymond Green and Anthony Edwards are starting to recognize that as well. So we're going to go into and look at the quotes that they've said regarding Shai, what both of them said, and also go into Shai's stats that kind of tells you why he's the most valuable player. Before we get into all of that, though, quick reminder that if you guys like what we're doing here, you like the content that we're putting out, and you want to support, best way to do so is just by hitting that subscribe button. Around 69% of you guys are still not subscribed to the channel, but yet you're watching the videos and coming back on a regular basis. It'd mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button, as like I said, it's the best way to support the channel, and it's the best way for me to continue doing this for a living. With that out of the way, let's go ahead, get into it, talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as he is having one of the best seasons we've seen from a guard in NBA history. He is putting up levels that are comparable, if not better, than MVP, prime Kobe Bryant, and the same level of numbers as Michael Jordan, who many consider is the greatest player of all time. You're putting up numbers that are just as good, if not better, than those two guys who everyone considers top 10 players, some of them even consider them the best of all time. You have to be the MVP. Jokic is doing something great, yes, but at the end of the day, it also comes down to winning, and that team just isn't winning, and they do better when he doesn't play. That's the fact of the matter. The Thunder do worse when Shai isn't playing. This man's the MVP when you watch the tapes, and guys like Draymond Green and Anthony Edwards are starting to realize that as well, all right? This is what Draymond Green said. You watch Shai. He ain't really doing nothing that is blowing you away, said Golden State Warriors star Draymond Green. At first when I read that, I was like, whoa, is he kind of like throwing shade, shade at Shai right now? Like, is he saying he's not that good? But it was the exact opposite, actually, except he may make a move here and there. But it ain't like it's the most speed or the highest jumper or like the most flawless jump shot you'll ever see. It ain't none of that, except he's going to create all the space he wants. He's going to get wherever he wants, get whatever shot he wants, whatever pace he wants to do it at. That's how good of a player he is. He was pretty much saying is like, look, he's not like the most athletic. He's not the fastest. He's not the bounciest. All right, he's not the best defensive player and not the best offensive player, but he's top 5 in every single one of those things. So at some point you have to realize, like, look, top 5 guy in all these things, he's the best player. Jokic is one of the best offensive players in the league. I won't deny that. He truly is, okay? He is not a top 50 defender, though. All right, he might not even be a top 100 defender in the league. He is a cone on defense. All right, that is what he is. They are averaging, giving up 155 points a game when he is on the court. That's how much they're giving up when he is on the court playing defense. That is horrible. Those are horrible numbers right there. Shai, though, all right, when he's on the court, the Thunder are giving up like 103, 104 points a game. Insane difference. He's one of the best defenders in the league. I think he ranks 2nd or 3rd in defensive rating. All right, he truly is one of the best defenders in the NBA. He's also one of the best scorers in the NBA, and Draymond Green said that. It's not like he's, has the best jump shot. It's not like he's the fastest, not like he's the shiftiest, all right? He just does everything at a top 5 level where he gets whatever he wants and he does whatever he wants, all right? That's just truly how it goes. Anthony Edwards also said the same thing about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't know if they could give it to Jokic again, said Minnesota Timberwolves guard Anthony Edwards. Yeah, I could say Shai, he's looking like the MVP. I love watching that. It's incredible. If he is keeping him like that, I hope they give MVP to him this year for sure. I feel like he should have won it last year, but he's playing out of his mind right now. It is crazy to think that people also say that Shai should have been the MVP. A bunch of media personalities also say that, yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he was robbed of MVP last year. They're all saying that. They're saying, look, I get Jokic had a great season and everything, but he took a step back last year. Okay. It should have came down to Shai or Luka. I will go ahead and say that right there. MVP should have either been Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Luka Doncic last season. This season, though, 100% Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He took another step in the right direction. He keeps improving. After a season here where he averaged 32 points a game and 5 and 5 and 2 steals, somehow he is shooting it more efficiently. He looks like a better defender, looks like a better passer, looks like he got more athletic. It's just absurd to think that this guy who finished second in MVP voting last season, somehow got better. That's the crazy thing to think about it, where it's like, look, all these guys, they're kind of doing the same thing that they've been doing for the past 5 years, whereas Shai, he is continuously improving. That is why he's the MVP. He's improving, and his team needs him to win. All right, I saw a stat the other day about offensive rating. The Thunder have the second best offensive rating when Shai's on the court. All right, second best in the league. When Shai is not on the court, all right, and all the time that he's off, they have the worst offensive rating in the league, even worse than the Washington Wizards. That should tell you something like, yeah, the Thunder actually need Shai if they want to score and win. That's what it should tell you right there. And when you look at the stats as well, it's clear as day. These are MVP level numbers. 32 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a block a game, 2 steals a game. All right, he is averaging more turnovers than I like, but I think some of that is the fact that he is the main ball handler right now. Once Chet is back, I think that's going to take a lot of the load off of him. 2 fouls a game, 53% from the field. He is shooting it better than some centers from the field. He is just efficiency-wise. Look at the efficiency alone. As a guard shooting 53% from the field, that's unheard of. 35% from 3. We'd like to see that number increase a little bit, but, we'll live with that right there. 6'6", 26 years old. He's still very young. He's 33% on corner threes. 34% of his threes are assisted, and 26 of all his shots are three-pointers. The fact he's averaging, all right, 32 points a game, when not even half his shots are 3, he's mainly taking mid-range jump shots, goes to show he could average 40 if he wanted to take more 3s a game. He's only taking like 4 or 5 a game right now, and he's shooting the ball, I think, 20 times or so. All right? That just goes to show you, hey, he could average more if he wanted to. And everyone wants to bring free throw numbers up. Jokic and Giannis are averaging more free throws a game than Shai. So don't come to me talking about, oh, he's a free throw merchant, all right? What about he's averaging so many free throws a game? That's why his point total is so high up there. Giannis is averaging like 13. Jokic is averaging around 10, okay? Their centers are going to get to the line. I'm not denying that. Shai drives to the bucket. All of a sudden, when Shai's doing it, it's free throw merchant, free throw merchant. He can't score without his free throws. But when Harden did it, when he won his MVP, everyone said it was smart basketball. It's a part of the game. Learning to defend without fouling. What happened there? What happened? Because he had a little bit of a legacy? Huh? Is that what happened? He had a little bit of a personality off the court. Shai has a personality off the court. All right? Like, it just doesn't make sense how quickly the narrative switches up when somehow Shai's going to align less than all these guys, but it's free throw merchant. He can't score 31 with, 31, 32 points a game without his 8 free throws. When Giannis does it, and it's like, oh my gosh, give this guy the MVP. Jokic does it. Oh my gosh, give this guy the MVP. Jokic hits a 3/4 shot, I get it. That's cool and all. Is that really MVP worthy though? Huh? A 1 in a million chance there? Come on now. People are just switching up the criteria now. It used to be you have to be on a winning team and have good stats to now, oh, you have to just have good stats. It doesn't matter if your team's winning or not, when the Nuggets might not even make the play-in. All right? That's the fact of the matter. Nuggets, I said they might not make the play-in. Sorry, someone on my words a little bit. I think they'll be in the play-in, but they might not even make the playoffs. You're going to give MVP to a guy like that? Same with the Bucks over there, who are starting to sell guys like Bobby Portis and Chris Middleton. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to now winning doesn't matter anymore for the MVP when it always has. That's what I don't understand. You have to look at record at some point and be like, look, Shai's averaging 32 a game on 53% shooting, on 2 steals a game, a block, and 6 rebounds a game. You have to give him the MVP at some point after looking at those numbers, especially considering they might not even get 15 losses as a team this season. That's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys personally think about the whole Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for MVP narrative going around right now, especially from the players, because I truly think when you look at the numbers, he's the MVP. No doubt about that in my mind whatsoever. That's all I got for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.